So I bought this mini lathe 2.5 years ago. I paid around 440 euro. Now I checked the price and it's around 600 something, but it's still the cheapest mini lathe that is available right now. So after 2.5 years, I've made different projects with it. I've made, for example, this kind of fire piston. So I start with a 20 millimeter aluminum. I drill a hole of 10 with the attachment that is with the machine, and this part is 10 millimeter and with a O-ring, and it's basically to make fire. It's a fire piston, it's called. So I've made this, I've sold a few of them, and it's kinda paid plus or minus the half of the price of this machine, so it was already a good thing. I've made a lot of different parts for many different projects. It works with steel too. This is steel. I've made fire piston with steel too. I made threads for a project with hydroelectricity. I just need to take off the chalk and add grease inside, because it was a bit dry, but it's the only thing that I really needed to do. Other than that, everything is perfect. I have a whole setup here with sandpaper I've used for these fire pistons. I have different stocks. Even this is homemade. It's melted aluminum. You can see that it's not perfect everywhere, but it's melted aluminum that I pour inside a metal pipe, metal tube. And I have our stuff here, to bearing holder, stuff like this. I've paid 40 euros for the kit for different angle type. This one is apart. I bought it apart, but on Vevor, on the website, it was 40 euro the kit. So it's the basic kit to start with the machine. Sometimes I grease the gears, but I don't often use the automatic feeding. It's not really feeding, but I mean, it's so it can move with the machine, and like this you can make thread using the different gears according to what kind of thread you want to make. Yeah, everything is still working fine, no problem. Everything is smooth. If you're watching this video and you're thinking like, do I buy it or no? Is it a good deal or no? For me it is, because I paid this machine already, working a bit with it. So it's not the problem of the cost. I think you can get back this money depending on what you do. For example, fire piston, it can be made. If you have a CNC and or a laser engraver, you can make custom fire piston with engraving, for example. There's many kind of project and stuff you can sell on eBay, Etsy, and so on. So for the price, there is some kind of small problem that I could have, but it's not a big problem. For example, here I'll center the camera, but here this one is not really smooth. Like, I need to turn it like this, not just with the, you see, it's kind of difficult to move, but like this it's not. If you use the two fingers like this, it's not, it's easy. It's like this because I need to tighten these 3 screws so that it doesn't have backlash. Same for the side, for this side too. This one is easier, it's much smoother. This one, of course, it's easy. This one is always easy, but I need to tighten this 3 here to make to not have backlash. Other than that, if you take time, even on steel or on anything, I do plastic, aluminum, and steel, and no problem with it. I don't regret to have bought this machine at all. I really don't regret. It's with my CNC 6040 CNC. It's really like the best thing I have in my workshop, in my garage. So yeah, for me this machine is worth it if you have the use of it. If you want to make small part and you know like hobby stuff or a small business, it's really working well. For me it was really like it's perfect. So yeah, if you have any question about the lathe, just leave a comment. I'll try to reply. I reply to every comment actually. I hope I helped to make a decision for you to make a decision if you want to buy this machine or no. I don't regret. I don't think there's a lot of people that regret buying this kind of machine because it's not that expensive. It's doing the job. Of course, you can't ask it to produce like 8 hour a day parts, you know, like steel parts for 8 hour a day. Probably the motor will probably burn or something like this. I don't know because I never had any issue with it, even working for like 2-3 hours without any pause. So yeah, I hope I helped you making the decision. Have a great day.